Hey, it's Jerry again, and with another little short video. This one's about exporting images from Lightroom. And I've done this specifically for how we're going to export images in order to upload onto or into Blackboard. You know, if we're not careful about image size and so forth, they not only become very difficult to look at on Blackboard, in other words, too big, or too small, and but also the file sizes become huge, and pretty soon we use up all of our space and our server space, and we'll have to find some other place to locate the images. So hopefully, you know, if you guys follow these instructions, the file should be relatively small and upload fairly quickly, and should be viewable. So anyway, let's get started here. Okay. First of all, I'm going to call up Lightroom again, and good old Lightroom. A couple seconds, it's open here, and we'll go to the library module. The library module is where you import, which was that previous video, as well as export, which is what this is all about here. So I'm going to export two images, one a horizontal image and another one a vertical image, assuming that you'll have one or the other. And how you export them, they're slightly different because our computer monitors are kind of horizontally skewed. So you know, you have to have a different sized image for a vertical than a horizontal. Otherwise, you'd have a tiny horizontal. So here we go. Now let's start this. So I've got this horizontal image showing up here, and we'll pretend that I've worked on it and so forth within the develop module. That's one of the other Lightroom videos that's coming that I'm putting together for you. So let's go. I'm going to click on export, and I get to the export folder over here. Now I can see up here it looks like my hard drive's hooked up, which is okay. But I've got all these options over here to set for how I want it to do when I export it. First of all, I think it's wise, especially if you're doing an assignment, to create a folder to put everything within. And here we go. So I'm going to export to a specific folder, the desktop here, and I'll choose the desktop as my specific folder. Okay. That goes in here. Then within that, I might make another subfolder that says mod 2, you know, something like that, so I won't lose them. You know, if you create a lot of photographs like I do, definitely want to get some sort of way of keeping them within folders so you keep track of these things. Let's see, I don't want to add to any catalog and so forth. So let's say, okay, file naming. Now, if you don't name it, it's going to be file number 0.00103. So let's call this particular file Split Rock. Okay, because it's at Scudic. It's a split rock at Scudic. I could put the date on there, but that's actually accessible via the metadata about the image. If I went into Lightroom and so forth, I could note all of that stuff. The type of file that it is not important either. Just as long as it has a file that's a name that's easy to understand and so forth. Now, I'm just going to close these up as I go. Otherwise, I'll run out of space on this tiny little, or on this smaller laptop thing. Now, we have no video, so there's nothing to worry about with video. Now, file settings are important here. First of all, we want to export this as a JPEG. That's a relatively small file size and good for using it within Blackboard. The color space we want to use is sRGB, which is a good color space when everything's going to stay within a digital format like on a monitor. If we were making prints and so forth, I would probably use Adobe RGB 1998. It's a much larger color space, much better for making prints. Now, quality-wise over here, we're going to set this down to about 75. Okay, 75. It'll make the file much smaller in size over here. We're not going to bother with this, limit the file size, because we've kind of already done that by bringing the quality down here to 75. So we're all set here. We're going to close this up. Image sizing is important here. Now I have a horizontal image. So here's what I'm going to do, and here's my directions for what I would like you guys to do also. First of all, set your resolution to 72 ppi, pixels per inch. See, pixels per inch, 72 over here. And then over here in the dimensions area here, put in long edge. Long edge. So that'll make sure that the long dimension of the photograph is not too long. And what we're going to use for a long dimension is 10 inches. So 10 inches for your long dimension, and we'll put the file settings here, and 75 for the quality up here. Those are the huge, very, very important settings for exporting images in our cases here. Now we get down to the bottom, and output sharpening. We don't need to do any sharpening. You've already done that within Lightroom, so you don't need to do that. Metadata, you don't need to change any of that. Watermarking, if you wanted to do a little copyright and so forth, if you're afraid of people copying your photographs or whatever online, digital copywriting, you can do that here. Post-processing, in this case I'll do nothing. And in my I'll open it up here so you can see. I also have Photoshop installed on this computer, so I could actually open this image within Photoshop and then keep working on it. But in this case, we'll do nothing. We'll just have it come back out right onto the desktop. So once I get all those settings done, I'll click on Export, and we'll wait. And we'll watch the status bar up here, and it should go into a folder on my desktop. Matter of fact, while it's exporting, I'm going to slide this over so you can see. It says Mod 2 Images right there, even though this isn't a Mod 2 image. And there it goes. Yep, it's all done. Okay. Now I want to show you how to do a vertical. So we'll select this vertical I've got here. Go to Export, same as before. Do this a little quicker here. Okay. I've already got the folders all set up here, desktop, Mod 2 Images, so I don't need to fiddle with that. I've got my file settings for JPEG, sRGB, quality 75. Got that all set up there. I've got my long edge set to 10 inches, which has got to change. This is the big change with the vertical. So with the vertical, instead of 10 inches on the long edge, you want to go to 8 inches. So 10 inches, 8 inches, that kind of fits the format within the sort of monitor screen that we have on most of our computers. Resolution at 72, that's fine for a monitor screen. If you were sending this out to make prints, you'd want to set your resolution to 300 or 300 or more. Sometimes we use 360 when we're using Epson printers, so forth. Now down here, all that stays the same as before. We're going to do nothing, and I'm going to click on Export. And let's see. Oh, I see. You know what I've done here? Let's see. Let's cancel this out. So let's do this export again. I made a mistake, and I see what I've done here is I forgot to rename the file vertical. Vertical shot. How's that sound? Pretty, unique. 8 inches, 72. Everything's fine. Let's export it. And there we go. So you see, it's very simple to do this kind of thing. And this way, these have been sized for viewing within Blackboard. And it's very important to follow this protocol here. Now I'm going to quit this out. Here's our images over here in my folder that showed up. Let's see how big the vertical is here. So double click. There it is, right there. Let's see how it holds up when we blow it up on the screen a little bit. Oh, I can zoom it out here. When we get into JPEG here, let's pull it down here and see. So it holds up okay. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. I won't bother with the horizontal. I mean, it'd be a similar sort of thing. The file size is right around 200 kilobytes. That's good. Yeah, see, 233 kilobytes, right around there. That's pretty good. If we keep it, under 250, then I think we can get a lot of images up on our website. So again, that's how you export from Lightroom in order to put within a Blackboard situation that we're using. And I'll have another video for you soon. Take care.